Welcome once again. This is now episode 2 of Chillin with Chad podcast. I'm Chad. Uh, so today's episode, we're gonna jump right into it. Today's episode is going to be called Heavy on Procrastination, because if you noticed that let's see. The first podcast probably came out the middle of January. It was recorded, I think, sometime after my birthday. That was January 11th. Okay, so and it was put out probably maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks later, and then here we go again, episode 2. Almost like a whole full, maybe even over. Yeah, it's been probably a full month since I posted the first episode that this episode comes out. So we'll just go with that. Heavy on procrastination. And heavy on procrastination sums up my life in total right now. Very, very much heavy on procrastination. Like, a lot of this stuff could have been done. I could have probably put out 2 to 3, maybe 4 episodes by this time. But procrastination lives. And I'm pretty sure it lives in some of y'all too. But, I mean, it happens. It's life. I'm a fairly happy guy, we could say. Most people that know me and interact with me on a regular basis can tell you I'm a happy, fun, silly guy. But there are those days where it's not so happy and not so fun. And I try to stay out of that mode a lot of times, but I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody. Like, I would describe myself as a super emotional being. Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. If that's an inside joke for my coworkers that might listen to this, I wear my heart on my sleeve. They'll get it. We'll laugh about it. So yeah, like everything, I take stuff in like real close to the chest, like. Happy, and on that flip side, and I'm upset or I'm sad, then yeah, I go through it. Or yeah, if I'm angry, yeah, I'll be angry for a while. It'll take me a while to get out of it, and it takes me back to my one and only open mic night at Cozy's, and I got on in there to do some stand-up comedy, and one of the jokes I was ending with that after my time as being a very emotional person. How, like, sometimes, like, I could watch something on TV or watch a TikTok or a YouTube video, and if it's something that it touches my soul, seriously, I'll like shed a tear and get super emotional about it. Like, let's see. Oh, I can tell you one thing. It was just a random video about the players getting inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame, and like they go up to their house, they knock on the door, and it's usually a person that they know or they're familiar with that is letting them know, like, hey, you know what this is? We're knocking on the door to let you know that you've made it to the Hall of Fame. And like some of those guys, they're like real happy and excited. Then other guys, like, they just like get emotional, and they like some of them like they shed tears, or like you can tell it's like real genuine moments. And that kind of like I was watching, like, damn, that touched me a little bit, and it like. I could tell, like, it was getting to me, and it kind of made me, like, super emotional. And I'm like, damn. Like, I'm really sitting here watching this video about football and crying about it. Like, damn, that's crazy. But that's my life. Like, there's so many times, so many instances that I feel like my emotions have taken over better. You know, I remember as a kid, I used to get made fun of. Like, oh, there you go, he's crying again. But uh, the crying is just only the emotional part of me. Really, I was mad and I probably was about to tear up somebody or someone. I, I don't know. And the crying is an outlet to, like, all right, it got to you and you let it out and you should be good after that. A lot of times it didn't always go that way. A lot of times it probably once that I don't know. It used to be like I guess like I liken it to like a fighter in his groove, like when he's like, or like I say, like a person who's like a performer and like they get sick and they throw up, and then once they throw up, it's like bam, they're in the zone. That's what I used to use the crying as. Like if you made me mad enough to where like that emotional build up and I like you probably might want to like get away as soon as possible because that was like my like Popeye eating his spinach. Like if I like say me and another person like yeah we duking it out or whatever, we fighting or tussling or whatever, and I get that emotion where the tears start coming. That was like my spinach, and I was ready to kill whoever was in front of me at that time. There's been lots of times where I've had to be held back because I was like just losing it. You know, because I just got to that emotional level to where, like, I don't know, I don't want to say bulletproof because nobody's bulletproof, but that's just what I felt like at the time. I was just like so strong and intense that it was like a super adrenaline once the crying started. So, uh, go from there to like emotionally, it just I don't know. It brings out a whole totally side. Like then that emotion can come like it could be mad emotion, it could be really sad emotion. It could be like something that like made me happy, and there's been all kinds of instances where this has happened, but the reaction to it. If you listen to this and you see one of these instances of Chad's about to cry, then you know that either I'm super happy, I'm super sad, or hopefully you don't, or you aren't the person that made me mad and like, oh shit, he's pissed off. So, yeah, we'll go from there. So, back to procrastination. No, I kind of went on a little tangent sideways on there, but I mean, whatever. This is my show. I do what I want. Procrastination. Trying to put this podcast together has been very much procrastination. And like, if I would have had like the same tools I have now that back then when I first started like dabbling into podcasting, like yeah, like some of you know, yeah, I used to be on a group podcast with my brothers Brian G and then Shaw, and then before that it was G Brian, Dav, and A Rod. So kind of when Dav and A Rod kind of phased themselves out, me and Shaw kind of picked up that baton and we started rolling them with the LEA, the League of Extraordinary Assholes. That's what it is. And shout out to them. You'll probably hear those people on the future podcast once we can coordinate together. That is one of my. That actually was what I wanted to be. The very first Chillin with Chad podcast is I was going to get everybody from the old LEA back, and we was going to shoot the shit and talk about and catch up with each other. Even though we all still frequently talk to each other, I probably would talk to G and Brian multiple times throughout the day. Like we have a steady group chat going, so we interact with each other. Shit, multiple times throughout the day, talking about whatever's going on. Me and Shaw probably every few days probably shoot each other a message or send each other stupid videos back and forth. And it's just, like I'm a person that, this is another tangent, by the way. When it comes to people, like if I befriend you, like I like genuinely hold on to like you being my friend. Like I never. I'm not a fake or phony friend. Like if I decide to like, okay, you're cool. I like your vibe. I like your energy. You're gonna be my homie. And then once that happens, like me and you are gonna be locked in. So like these people, like me and G and Brian, like we didn't meet on Xbox. We met through like another internet community back in the day. I probably told some of this story last episode or whatever I rehash. So that's how we all. And then the Xbox came on with it because shit, we're all gamers, so we play games together. So yeah, we will play games together all the time, and it like built up like us all being cool together to where we are today. And like, matter of fact, the only time we all were in the same room was the week after I had got married, and this was 4 years ago. And one of the trips, like I was like, since we were gonna be in the area anyway, one of the things I was like, hey, I want to go stop by and see G and Brian before we go back home. And I did that. I got to accomplish that. That was like that was one of the best days because like it's rare that you actually meet people that aren't a part of everyday life that you can make a connection with. That it goes from like strictly online internet to like actual everyday. Like I could say like G and Brian, like those are my friends, those are my brothers. Like I hold them dudes up like that. So I say that to say, I'm a very friendly guy. So if I feel like you're cool enough to be friends, then I'm gonna befriend you, and it don't matter if you're a popular person or not popular, like whatever. As long as you're cool with me and we're cool and we get along, hey, nobody can tell me anything bad about you because I don't care. Like, hey, you can say what you want about him. That's my friend. And I wish more people in the world would like have that same mindset. Like too many times you see people fall out over negativity or just something stupid. Like, and life's too short for that. You shouldn't have to have a bad you shouldn't have a bad friendship as well. getting to. So, I don't know. Love your friends. That's it. So, uh, okay, yeah, procrastination. Yeah, we cover that again. I ran off on another tangent. Procrastination. Okay, building this podcast up. The podcast, like I said, it's been. I think I first talked about doing this solo podcast. We probably did the last LEA podcast. Probably. Mm, it was COVID time. COVID had already hit. I think it was probably early COVID, maybe like mid 2020 or so is when we did the last LEA podcast. And I know I like once G decided to like chill out on the podcast, I had been hounding him for years. Like, hey man, like this is something fun for all of us. Like we should keep doing it, but hey, life changes for everybody, and he kind of got a little bit too busy to keep up the volume that we were accustomed to. Because I remember LEA episodes, we could, we were probably dropping like 2 or 3 episodes a week back then. If not, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but there was a couple like we had the main podcast, then we had a side podcast, See the People, which I'm probably gonna try to migrate into this, where I start interviewing people and just have my little set questions and me and somebody or multiple shoot the shit, get to know, just introducing like other people because like this is what I set out to do with this podcast is one, I needed an outlet to get my words out that I felt like I wouldn't get. Like there could have been thousands of ways that I could have tried to do this, but podcasting felt natural to me. Pretty much anything with speaking felt natural. Like I like to talk. I'll talk to anybody. Like it just felt natural to me. So I'm like, okay, so podcasting, boom. So that's what I wanted to get out of or get across is putting my words out there. Like and who like whatever 5, 10, 15 people who that would listen to it, they would hear it. And as long as I had somebody listening to it, and like I said, with my first episode, 16 people. I don't even say 16 people. It was listened to 16 times. And that meant something to me. Like, oh shit, okay, 16, hey, that's better than 0. So, hey. So hopefully this time around, we go from 16 to go up. And even if it don't go up, like, hey, as long as somebody's listening, I mean, I've gotten good feedback from people. They didn't really like the audio. Yeah, I recorded episode 1 for my Chromebook, and apparently Chromebooks are like the worst thing you could try to use for any audio. So, yeah, that probably won't be happening again. Then I have a laptop, but okay. So for one, my regular laptop, it has a charging issue. So like it will only work like if a charger is plugged up into it. So that needs to get fixed for one. Also, it overheats like crazy. So it would probably trying to record on it would be hell because if I don't have a noise canceling. Well, I might have something that I might have a headset that's noise canceling or something. I need to work on that. But you could hear like the. I know there's been lots of. I mean, if you listen to any of those old podcasts, you hear that big laptop fan just blowing and blowing and blowing. That's probably mine. And I mean, that's just what it was. I couldn't do anything about it. I don't know. It just was crazy. So it made it. Sometimes it made it hard to hear, but I don't know. I could work around it, so it wasn't too bad. So that's another like, and then either I'm gonna get this thing fixed, or I may just have to just spend some money and just get like a whole nother PC. That's another thing with the Chromebook. Since it's like its own operating system, like I can't download all the stuff I used to download with my regular laptop. Like I'm a huge old school gamer. I have probably I don't know, probably it was I have a couple emulators that were already built in on not built in, but I had already set up on my old laptop, so that's one of the reasons why I do want to get it fixed because I don't want to have to re-download all that stuff over again. But I mean, if I have to, I will. But so yeah, old school. I love Super Nintendo. I love Sega. I think I have some NES stuff on there. Nintendo 64. Oh my god, that's that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, let me focus back. Feel about to go to another tangent. We're gonna talk about games another day. Another day for games. Anyway, so podcast. Oh, but yeah, I got good feedback from a bunch of people. I haven't got nobody to leave any voice messages yet. Or you can do okay. So this is what I want. I want people to either leave me like you leave a short message like, "Hey, this is such and such." I don't want to say, "Hey, Chad," and "Hey, Chillin, Chad," and whatever. Just say whatever you want to say. Just do that. Or other like if you want to do a drop, that's a whole different thing. Like if you want to say, "Hey, this is such and such," and you are listening to the Chillin with Chad podcast. That's all. Hey, that's gonna be most likely gonna be the intro. Like I'm just picking like a random drop. I'm like, "Hey, this is such and such," and I already got my buddy A Ray. He's gonna do one of those eventually, and we're gonna get that ball rolling on drops because I want to have different people like kind of like, "Hey, this is such and such," and you're listening to the Chillin' Chad podcast. Man, I want to start off every week with a brand new one, so we'll see how that goes. Uh, podcast. Procrastination. I feel like I'm procrastinating right now because I'm trying to stay on topic. I'm trying to keep things going, but my mind is like I'm losing my train of thought everywhere I go. But I'm just bear with me if you listen to this. I know I keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping, but I do have a end goal. Uh, at the end of the day, this is what my podcast. This is what I want my podcast to be. I want to give myself a voice. I want to give other people a voice, like whether it be like musicians, artists, whatever. Like even random people, like, oh, my buddy such and such, who he's a manager at such and such, and he just wants to talk about his life. That's exactly what I want. I want to have people from all walks of life, and this is going to be a space where you can chill out, and me and you, or multiple people, we can chill out and shoot the shit and just relax and just be chill. That's why I came with the name. Okay, I didn't come with the name. I have to give. Oh yeah, I almost totally forgot about that. I have to give the credit for the actual name, Chillin with Chad, to my coworker Josh, my buddy Josh. Hey Josh, what's up? Know you'll probably listen to this. I was floating around names at work one day for the podcast. If sorry, y'all. At first, it was gonna be Chillin' Big Chad because most everybody from Waco, if you know me or if you know me through anywhere, you know I'm Big Chad. That's just what I've always been. That's who I've always been. That's what I've always gone by. Anybody like you see me out in the street, hey, Big Chad. It is. But it was Josh who was like, no, you should probably just say Chillin' with just Chad. Just Chillin' with Chad. And I'm like, I like it. I like it. And so here we are. That's how the name of the podcast was born. And I give Josh his credit. And hopefully Josh is somebody I interview. Josh is a very interesting guy, but he's very wise. That's if I could give Josh any compliment, I would say Josh is despite his demeanor, you may not think he's like a wise guy, but Josh is really wise, and he's a good dude. Josh is a good dude. Everybody I work with is I feel like everybody I work with I come across is we're cool. Like my morning and day shift people. Oh my god, I can't say anything bad. Man, can't say anything bad about those people. The people I work with on the mornings, they're amazing. And so yeah, when y'all hear this, yeah, I talked about everybody. Everybody's good. Uh, mm, it's gonna be for everybody, to everybody, and the door is gonna be open for everybody. I mean, some of the episodes, some of the topics, people may not like. It may not be your cup of tea. But all I ask is just, it may not be for you, but just give it a chance, and you may find some understanding. And I don't know. It's just it's all about life, man. Life is what you make it, and stop being heavy on procrastination. And I need to take my own damn advice because I have been heavy on procrastination, and hopefully I won't be as heavy on procrastination anymore. Because I feel like I'm on a road to where this could be like, this could be my thing. So, with that being said, I'm gonna end the tape right here, and I hope everybody enjoys this episode. And I'm out.